Let's do it.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. Love and light, everyone. I told y'all I was gonna have a guest for you guys on Sunday. I know a lot of y'all don't expect me to have people on Sunday, but I'm excited to have my man Joseph on. We're gonna be talking about a couple of things going on, what Joseph has going on or whatever. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, some general questions about DR, your experience and all of that. But before we go into that, just give a brief introduction to yourself to the people. Tell them what you're about and what you got going on.
A quick introduction. Thank you for having me on the show. First and foremost, we met probably a year and a half ago or so, maybe 2 years ago. I was following you actually on YouTube, and just so happened we was doing the same transition to DR at the same time. Now, um, I've been traveling. I'm from Canada. Um,
Okay.
I'm from Canada. I'm a seventh generation Canadian from the east coast of Canada, which is called Nova Scotia, which is where the Underground Railroad from the south in America, the black folk had escaped to where I'm from in Canada. So all my family's in Rhode Island, Boston, New York, Mississippi, Tennessee. But we are the black Americans in
Okay.
Canada. So,
Okay.
so for me, my transition, I kind of grew up in a black community in a predominantly white country, but in a black community. So, a lot of us is just looking for uh, that environment that's similar, familiar. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
so I started, I've been traveling for years, but I did Costa Rica, I did Venezuela, I did Ecuador. I got family in Guyana, family in Jamaica. I got family all over the Caribbean, and somehow I kind of spun a globe and found DR 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I found online was 1,000% different than what I encountered when I got here.
Okay.
Online, it was, dangerous. Don't go outside. Don't leave the resort. Nah, this, that, and the third. And I'm thinking, well, they so friendly at the resort I had stayed at.
Mm-hmm.
I said, it can't be that. It can't be all what they say, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's so friendly, so happy, they can't just front and put on a fake all the time, right?
Yeah.
So I stepped outside one night, and I don't know what you want to go into, but I stepped outside and realized, wow, it's a beautiful place. The people's cool. We can get into detail later. So
Right.
um, in that first 2 weeks of me vacationing here um, in Dominican, I had left and came back a month later,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a 20-day stay at an Airbnb in the Punta Cana area,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to some locals and looking online for housing in the market and what's happening out here. And I had met somebody that took me to a family member of theirs that was a real estate agent, had some land for sale, and I ended up buying land and started building a house immediately in my
Wow.
second visit. In my second visit, yeah.
So, so what made you decide to, you know, travel Dominican Republic in the first place?
Uh, uh, Now for Canada, I can't speak on the rest of America, North and South. In
Mm-hmm.
Canada, there's a situation. Realistically, it was for female companionship. Now
Mm-hmm.
in Canada, I dated, I done this and that, and whatever. But it's a different. I didn't feel that the women in Canada. I can't speak on everybody, but in general, the women are very money motivated, very entitled. Entitled is a huge word for Canadian women. They expect a lot. They don't do too much. If that makes sense. It's a
Mm.
lot of Canadian women is gimme, 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 but there's no dinner being cooked. There's no old school values. They ain't taking care of the kids. They're giving them to a babysitter. You know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
just that. the women in my generation, anyways, are very much not caretakers, caregivers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the internet or the world or YouTube, I don't know, the Kardashians and change a lot of women's brains. So for me, it was a companionship reason, my motivation. You know,
Okay.
I had kind of prayed with myself to I need to find a wife, I need to find a crib, and I need to start a business because it's very difficult in America, as we all know, to open a business, to find a wife and be able to maintain um, a home, the wife, the kids, the car
The
insurance,
lifestyle.
the
Yeah, yeah.
lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not cheap, you know, and I got a good job, you know what I mean? I've been an entrepreneur and I got a great job, as we've talked before, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a truck driver in the oil field. I make great money, but the thing is, it still really ain't enough for two. You understand me?
Right.
It,
Right. It's the same thing for me. You know, as you we had that discussion. Six
yeah,
figures, living in New York City, it still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. You
it
know,
ain't enough.
it's like I'm breaking even. So I totally get it. Coming from your perspective, living in Canada, man, and
Canada,
it's
Canada, Canada's more expensive than New York. I'll be straight up with you.
wow.
What?
And you know,
What,
I've never been to Canada, so I wouldn't
brother?
know.
I don't know what an apartment is and a condo is in like Manhattan, for example. But like our version of Manhattan, you paying 4,000 to 5,000 a month for a one bedroom.
Wait. Come again?
Okay, so if I'm trying to do the equivalent, I've been in New York. So like
Right.
let's say Upper Manhattan or a nice area of Brooklyn or whatever. Um, if you paying in a nice condo or a nice apartment, like a nice building, for example, one bedroom but nice. In
Mm-hmm.
Canada, in our version of Manhattan, which would be Toronto, you know, you be paying maybe 35 to 5,000
Wow.
downtown,
Wow.
one bedroom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's that's
yeah.
highway that's highway robbery. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of us are escaping the matrix. You know, for me, honestly, it's the quality of life, man. It's the quality of life. You know, yeah. It's
I'm
the quality. I make
it,
the money, but what's the point of making the money and you
what
can't enjoy it? You
why
know,
we work why we putting 10 to 12 hours in your day and driving to work, going back and forth, taking care of your family if you got kids, I don't got none. But imagine you making that and it's gone the next day. Making it and gone the next day. I just decided I need to find me a wife, open me my
hmm
own business. Or
hmm
if not, just work and go back and forth for the meantime because the money stretches. If you make
right.
5,000 and you spend that in DR, we can get into that later. But
hmm
that 5,000 gonna last you a hell of a lot longer, obviously, than in America. You
hmm
know, right now at the present time, I've been here for 6 months straight. Haven't
hmm
even sweat. I haven't even sweat. Haven't even
Look at
thought
that.
about it. While we talking, my employer has been calling me, texting me. I'm not even petty in that right now. Because,
Uh-huh.
I told him, when I found DR and I started getting into the cost and realizing the cheap way to live, the medium way to live, and the
Uh-huh.
expensive way to live in DR. Even the expensive way is a lot less,
Than what we're paying back in.
right.
Yeah.
So excuse me.
Hello. I don't know what happened,
Excuse
guys.
me. So basically, I've been gone for 6 months.
Okay.
I did. I worked for about 4 months. You know,
hmm
took some time off, booked a flight, and I'm back out here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's been 6 months. I got to get back. I do got to get back.
Time to
Like,
go
and
back and, and
well,
regroup.
but not for long though. And this is
Uh-huh.
this is what I want to share with everybody on your channel too. Um, I'm gonna go back and regroup for 2 months. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna go work for 2 months, and I'll be back for six again, just
Mm,
like that. My boss
mm.
don't like me. My boss don't like me. You know what I mean? But I told him, you know what? I'll do this 60 days straight, Monday to Sunday, for 60 days. and you do the math. All those Fridays and Saturdays, Sundays off, or whatever we get, I want that accumulated. If I'm getting 2 or 3 days a week off, give it to me at the same time. Give them all at the same time. I'll work the straight 60 or the straight 80. That's how I kind of manipulated the company brain. You know what I mean? I said, I'm gonna do it my way. It's better for you because you got somebody on the weekend.
Right. You got to make it work for you. You know? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's my ultimatum. If it don't work, see you later. I'm out. Because in the end of the day, I can live off 500. I can live off 500 a month out here. So I don't really care. If I stay under, if I had to, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So there's places we can get into whatever you want to with your question, but there's places to rent for $80 a month, or you can rent them for $800. It just depends on how you want to live.
Right. So so now you're down there. You said you wanted to get out of Canada due to the woman. You're looking for a wife, business, and such. So now that you finally got there, looking for a woman, how is that working for you?
Now let me decide if I'm going to expose my life in full.
Listen,
go ahead. What I'll say is I've never been a passport bro.
Me neither have I.
I've never been
I've been traveling since before the passport bro movement even existed. So
yeah. I mean, my family is Caribbean, so to me, I've never been to trick or treat. I ain't paying to play. That ain't me. Right. First and foremost, anybody that know me, that ain't me. Right. So I ain't paying to play. So that's number one. Number two, I like my life. I don't take risks. I don't really know who's doing what with who, what with, and there's a lot of passport bros going on. So you gotta be. I'm always cautious with my things anyway. So in the end of the day, at the time of me coming to DR, I was looking for the wife thing. I wasn't looking for the hit and run anyway. Right. You know what I mean? So for me, it gets thrown at us a lot. I find as men, foreign. It gets thrown at you. But I'll be honest, in DR, no disrespect to the women in DR. I love the women in DR. Beautiful women. They're very old school. You know what I mean? It gets thrown around so much in DR. You're almost like, yo, just chill out. Like a lot of the time, you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
I'm cool. Like you coming at me like calm down. And I'm not the finest brother. I'm not the richest brother. But at the end of the day, just being English, it gets thrown at you. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So I found, to be short and sweet, I found mine in 6 days. And that's it. That was it. And that's 3 years. Steady.
You're a lucky man, because a lot of us, I'm still searching, bro.
I'm gonna give you some game. I'm gonna give you some game. I met mine at her work. So right off the top, I could do that Chapiadora research. You know what I mean? Because I knew.
Before you go there, I got to Rick James. Hold on. Look, read this comment. Rick James says, "Looking for love in another country isn't a passport, bro."
No, that's not what we said though.
No, right.
That's not what. Let me, Mr. Rick James. That's not what I said, and that's not what we were saying. What I said is, I've never been a passport bro. I'm talking about the passport bros that go to smash and dip.
Right.
That's all I'm talking. I'm not talking about. I mean, I'm a brother with a passport. Okay, I'm a passport bro. However you want to say it. I'm not talking about the brothers that are looking for love. That's me. That was me. I'm saying the passport bros that are going to smash because we know it's under $100. That's all. I'm just saying that. That's all I was saying. I've never been that passport broke. Just to
Right.
clarify. Just to clarify.
And same for me, like, because I think, when the word passport bro gets thrown
It,
around, it
it,
can be interpreted into so
it,
many different. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it
Yeah.
could go out of context. Brother, Mr. James. I was not saying you were uh 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 brother. You got a passport. You a brother. Go ahead, bro. Of course. Go ahead. Get love. Get whatever. I'm just saying we was talking about those ones. That's all.
Right. And I just don't want to be categorized in that light. You see what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
So
no,
that's why
no,
I
no, not at all.
always make, I try
Not at
to,
all.
make clarification on that. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
So excuse me. That's not what I was talking about. So yeah. Mhm.
go back to what you were saying about, the whole looking, dating,
So
and you meet your
so
girl 3 years, 3 years.
so I had I had kind of talked with my now lady um at her work. I passed by the work, talked to it. Every time I went by that place, she happened to be working. So I'm like, okay, it's a working woman. She's you know what I mean? She's on the clock, you know what I mean? And I don't see her outside. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? With the rest of them. So I watched that for a few days and I ended up approaching and having a conversation, like a 2 hour conversation at her work, just kicking it, talking, and it turned into you could read people, you know what I'm saying? So you could kind of tell like shy.
Joseph.
And so I said I invited her out. We kicked it at a I had some family in town. I
Mm-hmm.
had family in town. So I invited her to come kick it with my family.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh, who's that?" I said, "Well, a couple of my niece and nephew and my cousin came down, you know what I mean?" And she was like, "Oh, I would love to do that." So when I seen her interaction with my nieces and nephews,
Uh-huh.
her, her full attention was on my nieces and nephews. Never mind my cousin and my sister, and you know what I mean. She was straight with the kids, playing with the kids in the pool, the places we was. And I'm like,
Mm,
okay,
yeah.
I see her character.
Uh,
You know what I mean? So I analyzed that. My sister analyzed that. I analyzed that. We was kind of watching the play. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? And from there, she invited me to her family
Mm-hmm.
after those few days kicking it with my family. And
Uh-huh.
and I and then I seen it. I seen how the mother's sweeping in the morning, grandma sweeping in the morning. It's like 8 people living in one crib. Everybody got duties. Everybody going to work back and forth. Ain't no hoes in the family. Ain't no gangsters in the family. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And her mother left her bedroom and said, "Sleep here. Are you
Oh, wow.
staying for a few days? Take my bed." And I
Uh,
was like, damn. So later on, we ended up hooking up, whatever. And on my birthday, I was still in town. She's like, "Oh, can we go see my mother?" She surprised my ass when I got to the house. There was a big banner, "Happy Birthday, Joseph," on the wall. Food was prepared. Like 50 family members were there, and my wife said, I think I love you. I think I might want to marry you. Now, she was joking, but
uh-huh.
at the same time, I'm like, I'll tell you another story prior to that, though,
Uh-huh.
just quickly. When we first smashed the first time,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up and she was gone.
Wow.
But I'm like, oh goddamn, I'm looking for my wallet. I'm going through my, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, she got me. You know what I mean? So I'm going through my shit. I'm looking around the hotel and I find the wallet, money's there, credit cards there. I'm like, okay. Check the jeans, money's there, my jewels are everything's there. So I said, okay, fair enough. We had some fun and that's done. I go to the washroom and the door's locked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck, was I drunk last night? Did I lock the fucking, So I'm knocking on the door and I hear something. She said, oh, excuse me. I said, oh shit, you still here? I'm like, yo, open the door though. Open the door. I thought she was doing something. Like, I'm still from America. I'm still thinking like, this is Earth. So I'm like, open the door though. So she opens the door, brother. I'm gonna tell you when I decided to marry this woman. When I opened the door, bro,
Mhm.
he's in the sink with my boxers and my socks,
Oh yeah.
scrubbing my shit. What?
Uh,
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, excuse my language. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, it was very hot last night, yesterday. I just cleaning the clothes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said, what? Ah, you trying to get married?
yeah.
You trying to get married?
That told you, huh? The hand
That was it.
washing the
That was
clothes.
it, bro. That was it. That was it. That was it. That was it. That was it, brother. That was it. You know
Mm.
what I mean? If you wake up to a woman cleaning your goddamn drawers, brother.
That happened to me too. The
Okay.
first girl
Okay.
that I did, yeah, once she sold me
Okay.
on that, but she turned out to be somebody totally different than who I thought she was. You know what I mean?
Uh,
But yeah,
it happens. It
it
happens.
happens.
It
It
happens.
happens. You
It
live
happens.
and you learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now so you've been with her for 3 years.
2 years.
And you said 2 years or three?
3 years now.
Three
Yeah.
years now. Okay.
3 years
So
now. Yeah.
now now that you've been traveling back and forth,
Hmm.
what tell me, because I know, eventually you want to get down there full time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you doing to, what plans have you put in place so that you
Okay.
can make that transition full time?
So it started off with me sporadically buying that house, that lot, and in a development project. For people that haven't been here, there's gated communities all over the island. You can buy your own lot and build your own house, or you can buy inside of a project. It's just a gated community. So I have bought inside of a gated community that's being developed sporadically. They gave in this country you can pay the builder instead of getting a mortgage. So I did it the process of paying directly to the developer
Mhm.
monthly. So I set that up. I paid down about 70% of the house so far. And now I just been sitting for like the last 8 months, and I'll probably finance the last 30% just because I want to make a relationship with the banks here. Because I've opened a company here too. So I set that up, so I'm good with the home. In the next 2 years, I'll never have a bill again. As far as home, I'm only gonna do a 2-year mortgage just to make a relationship.
Right.
So
And
I said,
established credit.
just establish, that I can pay on time if I ever need a loan or a line of credit. They know I'm good with it.
Right.
Um, so I've established that, which will give me a title to the home, of course, that's cash in the bank. A title you can do a lot with. So that was my first move. My second move was registering a company because at the time I registered, I knew I would do some kind of business here. I looked into I kind of fell into that search of what Dominicans do, and it happens to a lot of people. I thought, ooh, open a restaurant. Mm, oh, open a food truck. Start a clothing store. The gift shop, barber shop. But everybody's doing it. There's thousands of that already.
Right. It's
None of them make
a lot of competition in
lot
that.
of competition. Not a lot of them make a lot of money, to be honest with you. Like the way I look at it, I've seen places open for 6 months and close by the time I come back from Canada.
It's
I'm like,
gone.
what happened?
Mm-hmm.
So I registered my company, but I didn't make a move because I'm very analytical. So I gotta look at what everybody else is doing and see how long they last, see how
Mm-hmm.
much they generate. I got a lot of American friends in the between Santo Domingo and Punta Cana that have tried things, failed, and I said the typical black business, barbershop, restaurant, food truck, clothing, whatever the typical. I'm just saying it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to work out here because the income, there's money here. There's like a gap. There's like rich, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's like poor. Not poor,
Oh,
but there's rich and poor. The middle class is not huge. So
right.
it's not like America where we got all the different class. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one or the other. So I said, a barbershop beside a barbershop beside a hair salon is not going to work. So I'm not doing that. I've been taking my time, and I finally found my calling, and we can get to that later. So my setup was house first, wife second, watch and observe, speak with people like you and other people that have moved or been doing the transition. You know, just keep my ear to the street and see what people's doing, and then I decided to go into land purchasing. Okay. I've been in the Punta Cana area, if people are familiar, or in between Punta Cana, La Romana. Like that's where I've been living, renting while my house has been building. So I just been kind of doing the Santo Domingo, La Romana, Punta Cana. You know, I hate Punta Cana. I'll be honest with you.
I don't like it either. But go ahead. Give me your reason as to why. Because my viewers already know. They already know my reason. So I like to get your perspective on that.
I'm gonna share my reason. Punta Cana to me, Punta Cana. There's three Punta Canas. There's Punta Cana, which is like the Cap Cana, which is like the upper echelons, big money.
Right.
Okay, and that's like its own neighbor. Its own.
Yeah. It's exclusive.
It's exclusive. It's its own borough, you know. And then there's Punta Cana Village, which is its own upper echelons, you know, $1 million cribs, you know, $600,000 condos. It's gated. There's that. Then there's the downtown core, which is like the grocery shopping and the cocoa bongos and all that kind of whatever. Then there's like the beach life area, and then there's like the hood, and then. But to me personally, I know Dominican people because I got friends that's Dominican back home. They're generally cool people, laid back. They're not in a rush to do nothing, whatever. But they're family orientated. They're cool. Now the thing is, in Punta Cana, I'll start with the people. The people in Punta Cana are coming from, like Dominicans, or Venezuelans, or Ecuador, whoever. They're here to make money. They came to Punta Cana to make money. So you're not going to get that real love Dominican here. Not going to happen. Everybody looking for the bag. Everybody looking for a scam, a hustle, or I'll help you out. I'll be your driver. Everybody's looking for the bag. Plain point blank, period. The women, to the men, the women will be nice and cool. They trying to get the bag, bro. Typically you're not getting that real. Everybody needs paper because Punta Cana is known as the growing city. The jobs pay a little more in Punta Cana than the rest of the island for locals. So the hotels pay a little more. There's a lot of hotel work. The jobs, all the businesses pay a little more than their home parish town. Like if they from La Romana, they'll make more money working the same job in Punta Cana. You dig what I'm saying? So for me, it's like everybody's here for the bag. Ain't nobody here to help you. They'll be cool until the time comes, you know, when I need this and that for something, or I need this, it is what it is. So we're in the other side of the island, like when I'm in like Bani and like San Cristobal, you'll never hear nobody asking for no money. Ain't nobody. Everybody got their own house. Everybody got their own. It ain't nobody. You know what I mean? They more or less giving you stuff. They trying to give you mangoes. They're trying to give you just because it's abundant. So that's my first reason. My second reason to Punta Cana ain't nothing here. There is absolutely, and I'm gonna share this with your whole family.
Thank you.
There is absolutely. It's a circle. There's like 4 clubs. If you're into the party life, there's like 4 little, not clubs, bars. There's 4 bars. There's a beach. There's hotels. There's a grocery store, a Jumbo or whatever. There's a Coco Bongo, which is like, I don't know, Vegas type of shit, a show or something like that. And then there's a ghetto, and a ghetto.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
There's nothing here. There's lots of houses. There's lots of good real estate. There's lots of good, like the prices is decent. You can be in the upper echelons, bougie, or you could be in like a middle class. Like there's a lot of homes, a lot of condos building, a lot of stuff building. It's a developing city, but it's boring. Ain't
Right.
nothing to do. There's no mountains. There's no rivers. There's no waterfalls. There's no nature. There's no hills. There's no
Right.
river.
Yeah.
There's
It's all
nothing
flat.
here.
That I said the
It's
same thing.
man. It's the worst place on the island. Cause I've
Mm.
been other places.
And another thing, it's far away from everything. Like
It's far.
it's far. It's all the way on
It's
the other
far.
side. Yeah.
It's far.
Yeah.
You,
Well,
you
I'm glad
3
I
hours
got
to
your
Santo Domingo.
I'm glad I got your perspective on it. Only because people hear me talk about how much I don't like Punta Cana all the time. So
It's trash. It's trash.
yeah.
It's
Well,
trash.
before I go into some of the next questions I want to ask
Yeah.
you, I just want to read some of these some of the viewers' comments. Rick James says, "What's the benefit of getting married in DR? Does it help with the real estate?"
Good question. Really good. I like this. I like this brother Rick James.
Yeah, Rick.
Rick,
Shout out to Rick James, man. Rick
yeah,
James
hey,
is he's the supporter, man. He's
I,
always
I,
on the
I,
lives, So I appreciate your
I,
support, man. I do.
I like that brother, man. He's asking the right thing. So as far as there is a benefit. One benefit is the taxes, I believe, are different for the locals. Also, if you become a permanent resident as an expat, um, if you're married, it helps you with your permanent residency. First of all, it kind of expedites it. I think it used to be like right away on a $200,000 investment in a house or business. Now they've changed it to like 3 years or so. It's longer now. But if you're married, I think it shortens. Don't quote me on it, but I know it's the real estate. Like even for me to get the mortgage, my bank said, "Are you married?" I said, "Yeah, I'm married." They said, "Legally in the country?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, just put it in your wife. Your wife's already." I mean, I have a bank here too, but they're like your wife already. She's Dominican. You're married, so the house is 50-50 anyways, unless you did a prenup. Might as well just put it on her through her bank. So, and then I don't got to go through bringing my tax papers from Canada, bringing my, you know what I mean? They want to ask my, all that, whatever info, credit reports and all that. I can just do it through my wife. So that's an option that I have entertained when I get to that point, probably in the next 3 months or so. But yes, if you're married, it does help. Taxes are a little different. The process is a little quicker if you're doing mortgages. I mean, if you're doing cash is cash. You know what I mean? If you're building, then it don't matter if you're married or single. J-Day, brother's doing it on his own. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
people,
out of pocket, out of pocket.
yeah, yeah.
It can be done, surely but slowly, but it's getting done.
It gets done.
It's getting done.
Hey, let me just give him one other thing,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Rick James. The most crucial part to me in real estate in this country, and I kind of it's frustrating to me because I'm very meticulous, is that the title game. The title and deed game in this country drives me insane. I've been like kicking people's doors in to get I get real irritated. My fuse is real short, and especially for business. So my fuse is short. The title game, just know, brother, it's a process.
It's a process.
Brother.
Yeah.
Do not. I made the mistake of thinking things would be like America. It's the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we're used to is not in DR. If you're used to having a title when you buy the house before, not gonna happen. If you're used to things being on time, not gonna happen. If you're used to paying for something and thinking all that money's going to what you pay for, not gonna happen. Okay, you gotta be okay with. Don't call it an L because you're removing yourself from filthy America. No disrespect. I love my country. I love our life, but you're gonna live better. Deal with the headaches. have patience, and in the long run, you're gonna be happy you did, because the cost of living when your house is finished paid for, you're living off pennies, bro.
Yeah.
So just it's patience. I've been 3 years into mine. JD been however long into his.
2 years into like 2 years and 8 months, because we started almost at the same
Yeah,
time.
right,
Yeah,
about the same time.
about the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a frustrating, hard, difficult journey. But guess what? At the end of the day, in the end, by next year, we were saying, or whatever, me probably in the next 6, 7 months. Done. What's life? Life's gonna cost me hydro. Life gonna cost me uh food, grocery.
Hmm.
Life gonna cost me gasoline.
Yeah. Well, look, we got a lot of questions here. Because I want to get into your project that you got going on. So
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna ask, yeah, because we run. You see how when you have a good conversation, you see how time
Yeah.
goes by quick. All right. Shawana Checo said, Rick James, yes, from a bank standstill, the cedula is gold for a non-citizen. Okay.
Yes.
Miss Sharonda asks, "Did you marry this young lady?"
Yes. I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I
Jr.
did.
says, "Go check out Jamie Gruber, all about Punta Cana." That's your territory, so I'm sure you know who Jamie is, right?
Yeah. I know the name. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
the name.
G Style says you can get a gun if you're married to a Dominican. That's good to know, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that too. I didn't know that
Yeah,
too.
great information, because I do plan on getting something. Just
Oh no, but you
for
got. I mean,
protection. Yeah, yeah,
you could get a gun. You could get a gun anyway.
yeah, you can, but I want to have it legalized. That way, if anything happens, I don't want to be laid up in somebody's Dominican jail. You know what I'm saying? I want to
But
do
you don't
everything
go
the
to
right
you
way.
don't you can't really go to jail in Dominican. I don't even want to talk about that. But
Yeah, well, we already know.
you know I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perception rules reality. If you move a woman in a new home, and break up with the woman, does she legally have rights to your home? I've spoke about this before. It all
Mm,
depends. It really depends on the situation. Technically,
mm.
it's a 2 year rule. If a woman you're living with a woman, whether you're married to her or not, 2 years or more, they consider it common law. She's pretty much
Uh,
entitled. She's pretty
okay.
much entitled. However, there is, I in the beginning, I didn't think that there was prenuptial agreements, but they do have
There is.
prenuptial.
There is. There
There
is.
is prenuptial, so you make
It's
sure
a
you
little
talk.
bit different. It's a little bit
Yeah,
different though. It's called there's a name for a specific name for it, and it's the same. It's the same concept applies. It's similar. It's similar. It's similar.
yeah.
It's similar.
All right, so now that we done talked about your transitioning and all of that, let's talk about your project. Your project
Okay.
that I'm so excited about, man. When you sent me, the layout and everything, man, I was just like, I said to myself, "This is genius and genius." I'm gonna be honest with you. What you got going on, I've only seen one time, and um, I didn't see it in person. It was I forgot her name. It's shout out to Colleen. She's a
Mm,
YouTuber as well. She did
okay.
it in Puerto Plata, but I don't think it's on the scale of what you're trying to do. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about your project and what you got going on in Bonnie for the people.
Okay. So I had acquired some land in Bunny, which is like Santo Domingo, about an hour south, they call it south. I call it west. Anyway, it's about an hour west of Santo Domingo, the capital. I acquired 3 acres of land, and the reason I acquired this land was because I've been researching tourism and hospitality industry for about 3 years, right about 2 years prior to me coming to DR. I was researching hotel tourism, camping businesses, and glamping. Okay, there's a word called glamping, which is glamorous camping.
Mm,
So a lot of the black world where I'm from, we don't know nothing about. A lot of us don't. I mean, some people do, but a lot of us don't go camping. A lot of us don't go fishing. A lot of us don't do the mountain hiking and mountain climbing and all that life.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky enough as a child. One of my uncles was into that life, fishing and all that, hunting and all that. So I did. My family's country folk, so we from the outskirts, right? So I kind of seen that life in a sense. So I started researching it. There's been a boom in the last 5 years. It's a $3 billion industry around the world. It's called glamping. And all it means is campsites, camp tents, and structures that contain the homes, has become a new
thing.
It's become like this thing where people rather be out in nature, but comfortable like you in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got best of both worlds. You sleep in the same kind of bed you sleep in your house. You got your lamp, you got your dresser, you got your kitchen and all that. But when you walk out the door, you in nature. It's like, so it's this new thing. I researched it in Sweden, Norway, Philippines, Thailand, and I'm looking at all these people and sites and things, and I'm going, oh yeah. So I acquired this land, and I started traveling the area surrounding the land. Around this land, within a 15-minute drive any direction you go, you got mountains, you got sand dunes, like it's Egypt. It's crazy. It's crazy. You can go snowboarding on sand. There's literally excursions, 6-minute drive from the land. Okay, so it's got ocean, but the ocean and the sea connect somewhere over there, and so the water is black stone. Like the beach is black sand, but the water is super clear. It's not the blue like Puerto Plata in that. It's like clear water because the stone is black.
It's black. Okay.
But the water's
It's probably like the water in Guyana, because water in Guyana is not blue. It's not blue.
I'm Guyanese, so I know.
Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. So it's similar. So basically, the water's beautiful, and it's the biggest windsurfing. I didn't know until actually recently. It's the biggest windsurfing community. Like people go, what's it called? Parasail. What's that?
They call it kiting.
Kiting.
On the kite. Yeah.
They have big. They have like huge events, like tournaments there and all that in that area. It's big sailors, big boat people over there, and it's not touristy yet.
Okay.
Yet. What Bani is the rich Dominicans are hiding in Bani. So it's a community. It is no motos. There's no dirt. There's no garbage. The streets is clean. You can eat off the streets. There's no potholes. The roads is paved. Everything perfect. It's the craziest community. I don't know if there's anywhere else like that. I've never been up north where you at, but it's clean. There's no, you don't hear none of that. It's like rich Dominicans walking their Pomeranians and shit.
Oh, okay.
It's different. It's a different kind of area. Beautiful houses. People speak English. Almost 90% of the people speak English out there because it's a lot of Dominicans that live in New York or have. It's like the Dominicans that have been able to travel, make money, and come back.
Okay.
That's what the area is. There's money. You can talk English. The rest of the food is incredible. Like if you go to Punta Cana or any of those areas surrounded within 45 minutes, the food's horrible. Horrible, because it's all prepared fast for tourism. But Bani is local.
Yeah,
It's
just
real
you're
cool.
gonna get that down home
Right.
local
That down
authentic.
home.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Grandma
yeah.
whipping, grandma whipping. So there's wealth, there's nice cars, the people are friendly, it's cool. It's a light skinned community. It's a lot of like the light skinned Dominicans for some
Well, you
reason. I'm
know,
not sure.
I've seen a lot of dark Dominicans too. I've never, I have a few people that are from Bonnie that I know personally, and they're
Okay, yeah.
dark like us. They're dark like us. And
There-
G Styles, I'm sorry to cut you off. G Styles pointed out. He says in Bonnie, there's a lot of people that have lived in Boston, and I know
yeah,
that for a
yes,
fact.
yes,
I know
yes,
that
yes,
for a fact.
yes,
There's a lot of
yes.
people
A
from
lot,
Bonnie
yeah,
that live
yeah,
in Boston. That is
yeah.
true. That
That's
is
true.
definitely true. Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think Boston and Providence or something. A lot of Providence folk in Bunny too. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, Boston for sure. I met a few people from Boston out there. Yeah.
So let's
Um.
talk a little bit more about your
So
project. Yeah.
so so what it is now I've done this project for myself as a it's going to be and what it started. It's going to be a glamping site. I'm prepared to put up to about 16 tents, like lots for 16 tents. I'll kind of share with you the vision because I don't have a picture, but basically, it's going to be a gated community um, with tents, outdoor showers, outdoor bathrooms, setups, outdoor cooking area stations, pools, outdoor jacuzzis, outdoor ponds, outdoor walkways with gravel walkways going to each tent with surrounded by palm trees and like certain type of vegetation to give the separation to your own space. So when somebody comes to sleep in their tent, which would be a 6-person tent, like the size of a 6-person tent, furnished, of course, fully furnished, but it gives you privacy. So I want to give everybody their own tent, their own fire pit, their own park bench, their own pond, their own outdoor hand washing station, a dishes washing station. The cooking will take place on another part of the land. So you go over there, you cook your stuff, do your thing. There'll be park benches there or whatever seating area, or you can take your stuff back to your own personal tent, which you have your privacy with trees surrounding you. Not trees, but bushes. There'll be a community pool. Okay, there'll be a community pool for everybody to share. And about 16 units. Now, there's 4 or 5 other similar things in Dominican Republic, not the same as mine though. Uh, there's a few places with like 3 or 4 domes, like dome structures. They look like a dome structure,
Like
similar
an
idea,
mm-hmm.
like an igloo
Igloo.
looking thing,
Yeah.
which look really cool. I've been in a few though, and if that AC ain't kicking, it's hot as hell. It,
Mm.
they spacious, they cool looking, but they hot as hell. Cause I don't know what the material is or whatever they made out of. It might be plastic or something. So
Mm.
that heat. I when I walked into the first one, I was like, nah. And even though there's an air conditioner inside, I was like,
Uh,
eh. Cause that mean nah. Cause I don't like AC pumping all the time. I like fresh air. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So, but anyway, there's a few in the country. Mine, I'm just setting up a little bit different. Mine is from the land. You can see the ocean in a 180. Like you can see the ocean from the land. It's about 15 minutes from the water. I chose that location to not be near the water because it's mountainside. So the whole resort will be mountainside. So you're kind of up elevated. You can see miles. It's a beautiful terrain. It's mountainous. You can see the city. You can see the ocean from the land. So you're like away from the city life, but it's right there. But it's right
Okay.
there. You know
Okay.
what I mean? If you need
Bird's eye
something,
view.
it's a 3-minute drive back into town if you need something. But
Mm.
I will have food on site. There will be a grocery on site. Just frozen foods like frozen steak, hot dogs, chicken, all that will be on site. 24-hour security, 24-hour maintenance staff. Um, it'll be gated cameras for security. Obviously, it's going to be lit up. Solar. I'm doing total solar energy.
Mhm.
Like I said, there'll be flushing toilets, running shower. And then and I'm offering what I'm offering for this, and hopefully I'll give you the visuals of it so people can see. You can share it with your
Well,
people.
I pretty much already see what I want to do. I think for those of you guys who are interested and want a visual,
Yeah,
Joseph done sent me, footage. I'll post it on the community section, and then that way people can go and look. And I
right,
love it. Man, it looks really really
right,
nice.
right.
But what would be for somebody who is interested? What would be the
Yes.
startup cost for somebody who's looking to tap into something like that?
So this is so I built this vision. My company is called Frank Rose Investment Group. My whole plan in life has always been, as we met, linking up with folk and
Mhm.
doing things together is needed. It's 2025 in a minute. We need to link up together and do things, share information, share business, make money together because everybody else does it. The East Indian community does it. The Chinese people do it. Everybody does it except the Black community as
Mhm.
in a high volume. So I got this land to do this project to share. So for example, I'm gonna have maybe 6 or 8 of my own tents that'll
Mhm.
be Airbnb. I'm going to leave 8 to 10 extra lots for investors. The cost, I don't even want to gouge. I'll be honest with you. The
Mhm.
way the way I'd like to do it, because I want people to. Not everybody got paper right now. Not
Mhm.
everybody got, and it's a tent. The tent's $300, $400, $500 maximum.
Mhm.
The setup to put the gravel around your tent and your in whatever kind of deck you want, a wood deck or something underneath the tent. I'm gonna try to do that because it's for water irrigation. You want it to be raised. So the cost really, I would only ask people maybe $1,000 to build your deck, pay for the gravel and pay for my workers to make your space. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe 500. I haven't decided because it's not that expensive to set up. I would
Mhm.
maybe charge a 500 to 1,000 to have your spot. And what I would rather do, other than ask people for money to invest into this resort, what I would rather do is take a percentage of your booking. So, for example, if you're booking for 150 a night, maybe I'll take $20.
Mhm.
So it's never really coming out of your pocket. I don't want to charge people money because what I want is partners that we're all making money together, right?
Mhm.
And then
Right.
when it comes time, when we see it working and people generating money, now I
Mhm.
got 8 partners or 6 partners. I can say, yo, you made like 15K in the last 2, 3 months. I seen another lot next door. Let's go buy that one and
Mhm.
expand the resort. Or let's get together. All 6 or 8 of us are making money. Let's get together. Let's throw in 5K each and go buy another lot in the north side of the island or the west side, wherever. We do it together and repeat, repeat, repeat. Because repeat, if we already making 50K a year while we sleeping, or 100K a year while we sleeping, or 2 grand a month while we sleeping, repeat, do it again, right?
Mhm.
So that's how I'm not trying to get people to invest money into this. I'm paying for the wall security. I'm paying for this stat. All you got to do for me, I want the place to be full, right? So I'm putting 8 of my own. I'd love to have 8 more.
Well, you know you got me. I'm already, I'm already in. I'm in.
brother.
I'm all in. once I
Like,
seen once I seen the vision, guys, I'm like, count, man. Do not leave me out of this. And
listen,
yeah,
listen,
the fact that you over there on the other side,
brother.
because I tell people you got to move around. You got to move around. That's the only way you're going to get yourself accustomed to the
Yes,
country, traveling around, to the
travel, travel,
yeah. The fact
travel,
that you on that other side, man, I said, yeah, man, count me in. It's
and
not
I'll
too
say something. I'll say something. If people want to look it up, the water nearby is called Playa Salinas. That's the beach. It's called Playa Salinas. So if anybody looks that up, you'll see the area. Look up
spell it.
Las
Spell Salinas so that they know.
Salinas is Salinas. So
Okay.
Las LOS or LAS maybe Salinas Salinas, and the what's nearby also is look up Las Dunes Dunes. Look up
Okay.
Bani Bani
Mhm.
Dunes, and you'll see what's around. You're gonna see ocean, then you're gonna see Egypt, then you're gonna see mountains, then you're gonna see beach, then you're gonna see. Watch the videos. That's where it's at. We're 9 minute drive from all of that. What you look up, the tourism is right now over there. Is Dominicans go there for tourism. That's
Okay.
their getaway. It hasn't become an expat getaway yet.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one out there doing this because there's nothing like what I'm doing there. There is
Uh-huh.
hotels. There is hotels, like little hotels, and there's one super expensive hotel, which is
Uh-huh.
like on the water, just around the corner from me. So there's like $1,000 a night hotel. Then there's like that local, local $50 motels, and then what I'm doing.
Nice. So what I want
Yeah.
you to do, I want you to give everybody your social media handles for anybody that's interested into your upcoming project,
Yes.
which you're actually in the process of doing all of this now.
Mhm.
I seen part of it on
Yeah.
your Instagram page. So give the
Yes.
people your Instagram so that they can check what you have out on there. I enjoyed this conversation, man. I
Yeah.
definitely got to have you back on because there's a lot more things that I
There's a
want
lot
to
more.
ask you
A lot
that I
more.
didn't get a chance to ask you. An hour goes by quick.
Yeah.
And for those of
Yeah.
you guys that's on here, I just be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate that, and I'm gonna ask and just go through some of these questions. Ella Pot, get a gun. How is the crime rate there? Crime rate is Dominican Republic is safe, man. Especially on the North Coast where I'm at, is definitely safe. I've never had any problems. Been traveling there for years. Um, in Bonnie, I think I got that one.
It's
Will
safe.
you have kids there and plan to raise them there? This is Rick James's question.
Quickly on that, I will not. I will not. I will not have my kids here.
Hmm.
I'll definitely have my child or children, probably army of 10 in America because I want them to have that strong passport. But at the same time, when they hit about 10 years old, I will bring them back to DR, and let them get that family. You can knock on your neighbor's door feel. I want them to feel that love because they have lovely communities. So I want them to get the passport in America. I want them to have the love, sharing and caring feel of Dominican. So they'll be back and forth their whole life for sure. Definitely. Definitely. But the passport got to be American, of course. Yeah.
Facts. Nick's Nation,
Yeah.
Salute J and guests, Group Economic. Let me just tap on it. Group Economics is what works, shares risk, and shares profits while maximizing growth and growth potential. Amen to that. Yes, sir. Sharonda Checo, she says, have him back on. Definitely gonna have Joseph back on, man. So
Amen.
yeah, bro, give them your social media handle so that they have it. And
Yeah.
your
So the Instagram is Frank Rose Investments on Instagram. I think that's how you get on it. I don't know. Like that's my name, Frank Rose Investments on Instagram.
Mhm.
Frank Franc FRANCROSE Investments. Get at me there. Um, I shared it with J Day so he can. However, I guess you could probably screenshot it or show. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
how. However you could.
I'm gonna post it in the community section
Yeah,
once we end the
yeah,
live. That way people
yeah,
can check it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can get at me there, and what I'll do. If you do get at me there, DM me or whatever. Um, what I'll do is I'm gonna give my boy a finder's fee because it's his community. So if somebody does want to throw 1,000, secure yourself a lot, and we make the paperwork with a lawyer, and you get like your lot for a year and a half or 2 years or 6 months, and you want to try it out. Remember, it's a tent. You can take it away. You can secure your lot for a year if you want. Throw it on Airbnb, see what you make. Because remember, there's going to be 16 people or 16 tents being promoted on one property. If 8 people
And
post an Airbnb,
not just you're not just doing tents. See, we didn't get a chance to talk about all the rest of
no,
what.
oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, right. It's not just tents. You can put a container home. You can put a. I just want it to be a movable structure. So you want to put a prefab home, like a prefab tiny house, go ahead. You want to put a container home, go ahead. You want to put a tent, go ahead. You want to put a yurt, go ahead. I don't care. All you got to do is tell me how long you want to have it there for. Just let me know. We made the contract, put it there. I don't care. All it's doing is promoting my space and our space. That's all it's doing.
Love
We're
the
bringing
concept,
traffic.
brother.
We're bringing traffic for each other. Somebody might stay in my tent and then be like, "Hey, cuz, homeboy got a cool looking container home, like in the third lot beside where I'm staying at. Come on, check it out. I already checked out the tent. Tent's dope. Check out the container home. Oh, but there's a tiny home up the pathway. It's only gonna promote each other. We only bring traffic to each other. We can all eat together. There's no need for greed. All we got to do is feed. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that.
Love it.
It's a
Love
no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's
and
free money.
That's why I said count me in. Count me in, you know?
It's
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But man,
Residual what
huh?
you know, all I'm trying to do is create residual income for all of us while we sleep. That's the plan. If you build it, they'll come. If you can get $100 a night, 6 times a month, it's still 600 in your pocket. If you can get 18 days booked, you might make 150 or 200 18 times.
And then
It depends on your schedule.
once business starts picking up, word of mouth, it starts spreading like wildfire, and then before you know it, all of these tents are gonna be booked at its capacity, man. So I'm all in. As I said, and the idea is innovative. I haven't seen any of that. Maybe just one in Puerto Plata, but I foresee this being something big, and I definitely want to be a part.
And so, but before we, just to add to that, that's only the campground is only 1/3 of the land. The second, I forgot to let you know this too. The second third of the land, I'm doing villas. It's on my Instagram. I have space to put 20.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So that's the second half. That's the second part of the land. So I am going to be selling lots and house plans. If you want to buy a lot, so that'll be a second gated community. You go through the campgrounds, it's gated. The next gate is into the residence. So it's called Cactus Club Resort and Residences. So it's going to be camping and villas. So if you want a villa, the cost for my designs and my team, I already have a construction company team. The cost is unbeatable. Unbeatable. I'm just telling you, if the average cost to build out here, at least in the East Coast South, is like $800 to $1,300 nowadays a meter. We do it. My team could do it for $375. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Look at that.
I'm gonna just leave it at that.
So, guys, there you have it. I'm definitely gonna have him back on. Y'all stay tuned for part 2 of this interview because we definitely got a lot more to talk about.
A lot to talk. Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
read G Styles' comment before we close out because this is
Okay.
benefit for you. He says as long as one parent is American, they can get American citizenship and passport. I have a Dominican daughter and she is here in New York with me, and American citizen. So it's truth to
Okay.
that. Yeah, if you
Okay. Okay.
whether you have your kids there or here, they're still considered
Oh.
American citizens.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
just so you know. Yeah,
Appreciate that info. Appreciate that
yeah.
info. Appreciate that.
So
I did
guys,
not know.
I appreciate all the love and support, man.
Yeah.
It's 11 y'all. It was at one point it was about 22 of you guys in the chat. So I appreciate having you
Cool.
guys on.
Cool.
Be sure to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe. And I will be posting his information in the description link. So if you guys want to get at him and get more
Yeah.
information on what he's
Get
doing with
at me.
money, yeah, by
Get
all
at
means.
me. Get at me.
Yeah.
And if any questions, get at me. I'm open book. I'm ready to go. I'm trying to share with my people. You know what I'm saying? So anytime, anytime. I appreciate you having me on, brother. Appreciate you,
Likewise,
man.
I appreciate you coming on and giving your information out to the viewers, man. I'm always about providing informative information to help others navigate through Dominican
Yeah.
Republic.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Always. Always.
So
Always.
with that being said, guys, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, I should say, and I'll be
Yeah.
talking to y'all soon. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Until then, y'all stay safe out there.
Appreciate it.